Welcome to the Success Choice System's first quarter training. Can you believe that we're into a new year? I really love this quote by Michael Altshuler that says, "The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot." As you move into this new year, take the controls and pilot your life into the direction that you want to go. I'm Pamela Henry, and I'm the creator of the Success Choice System, and I can't wait to do this training with you. I am passionate about the Success Choice System and in its power to help you to live your best life. But of course, we can't guarantee your results because it is up to you whether or not you take the steps necessary to improve your life. But it is possible. One of the most difficult, as well as the most rewarding things that we can do, is to master ourselves. We have years of habits and conditioning, so it doesn't happen overnight, and it isn't always easy. But with awareness and consistent positive actions, we can transform our lives. This is called the Success Choice System because I believe that we have the power to choose the success in our lives. We don't have reptile brains. We have amazingly creative brains that we can use to make ourselves and our world better. We can choose our own success. I love the Success Choice Planner, and I can't tell you how much I love opening up a new planner and giving myself the gift of a clean slate and a fresh start. But what if it's February and you've already gotten off track and things aren't going as planned? I saw a meme the other day that said, "My new year starts in February. January was just a free trial." The good news is we aren't looking for perfection. We're looking for progress. When I'm making progress in a direction that I want to go, it makes me feel happy. I feel alive. We are focusing this year on the Success Choice System, not just the planner. Because if you don't have a system in place for not only using your planner but improving your life, the planner isn't going to help you as much as it could. The Success Choice System helps you to maintain positive growth and improvement. The system is a positive success routines-based system. Our lives are already full of habits and routines, most of which are likely unconscious. We go through our lives on a kind of autopilot, not really questioning why we're doing what we're doing. Many of our actions are based on our upbringing, our environments, what we're exposed to, like maybe our friend groups or social media, as well as external expectations. When we're doing things purely out of external expectation or comparison, we often lose our motivation. We can feel depressed, overwhelmed, and lose our passion. We don't feel fulfilled. Throughout our lives, we can cover ourselves with layer after layer of expectations and conditioning. In the process, we lose touch with our true selves and what is really important to us. How does the Success Choice System help you to establish positive routines and to get back in touch with yourself? To make it easier for you to remember, the system is based on 4 R's for getting results. The 4 R's for getting results are reasons, refinement, routines, and reflection. In this system, we're asking you to step back and observe, to start paying attention. Start to uncover your reasons or your core values and purpose. Then start refining yourself by setting intentional goals or working on meaningful projects that reinforce your reasons. Then set up routines that support your goals and reasons. Then reflect on what's working and what's not. Celebrate your wins and course correct when needed. This helps you to further clarify your reasons. You then set new goals and refine your routines. Then reflect again. Each time you go through this system, you gain greater awareness about yourself. And you start to shed those layers of expectation to reveal your authentic self. Change is a way of life. Everything changes. But are you making progress? I'm sure you've noticed that without regular effort, things decline. Take your home and yard, for example. How long does it take without consistent effort before they start to decline? I know for me, whenever we go on a vacation and we're just gone for a week or two, I'm always amazed at how overgrown the yard has become. The consistent habits that you learn and the systems that you establish can keep you moving forward, getting more and more clear about who you truly are. What does it take to own your power and uncover the real you? Have you ever noticed that young children are unabashedly themselves? The other day, a man was reading to his 2.5-year-old granddaughter, and she looked up at him and said, "You have poopy breath." She wasn't trying to be rude, she was just making an observation. I have a friend whose son likes to wear his red boots everywhere he goes. He wears them to play, he wears them to school, he wears them to church. They were his favorite, and he wasn't concerned whether or not people liked his outfit. As we get older, we start to adjust our choices based on the reactions of others. It's good to be able to notice social cues, and not to say things that are rude, or to walk downtown without clothes on. However, sometimes we get so caught up in trying to please others, or to measure ourselves against some unrealistic ideal, that we lose track of what really makes us happy, who we are, and what we truly want. I've always admired people who can just be themselves. My sister had a friend in high school who would say and wear unusual things, but it totally worked for her. She was blunt, but she wasn't rude. Her outfits were unlike anything anyone else was wearing. She had put together unusual color combinations or unusual patterns. She obviously wasn't trying to fit in. She was wearing what she loved, and it was totally her. She was confident, and she didn't care what anyone else thought, and as a result, she became an unintentional trendsetter. This could be the year that you peel off those layers of expectation and let your true self emerge. Your joyful, loving, creative, happy self. This could be the year that you define success for yourself. Change doesn't happen overnight. The goal is progress, but the Success Choice System can help. Now let's put the Success Choice System's 4 R's for getting results to work using your Success Choice Planner. Again, the 4 R's for getting results are reasons, refinement, routines, and reflection. The first R is for reasons. We all want to feel like our lives matter and to experience joy and fulfillment. Our lives are full of demands on our time. We have a lot of interest and varied responsibilities, but obviously we can't do everything. In order to get the most from your time and to choose joy in your journey, you need to decide on what matters most. You need to get clear about your reasons, what you really want and value, not what you think you should want or do. You need to have powerful reasons behind your goals and actions. This is why understanding what you truly value and why in each of the areas of balance, as well as your purpose, are so important. Each week you can work on refining your purpose, and you'll gain more clarity around your priorities each month in the areas of balance section, and each quarter in the goal planning sections. Your strong reasons help you to filter the demands that come at you through the filter of what you value. This helps you to prioritize your activities and to say no to things that don't fit. Sometimes life throws you a curveball and you're forced to prioritize your activities. This past year has been a challenge for me health-wise. I had 3 different surgeries, each of which had some sort of complication. One was a foot surgery that had a hard time healing. I had to have monthly steroid injections into my foot to help break up the scar tissue that kept developing. And I had heart surgery that really affected my energy and activity levels. I've had frequent migraines and easily get out of breath. I especially have a hard time if I get overheated or spend too much time in the sun. The alarm on my watch goes off, reminding me of high heart rate, and I feel faint. Last fall, my husband and I decided to put solar panels on our roof. But up on the roof, it would get hot as soon as that sun would come up, and my heart rate would spike and I'd feel faint, which, being up on a 2-story roof or climbing up and down ladders isn't the best place to be feeling faint. So we would have to go out early in the morning and work just until the sun would start to come up over the mountains, and then I'd have to head right down. In fact, last fall, my husband, my son, and his wife went to Universal Studios. And we went to one of the shows, and before the show we had to be in a big room with a lot of people, and it was getting kind of hot and humid, and pretty soon there went the alarm on my watch telling me high heart rate, and I was feeling faint and had to leave the room. So it's been a bit of a challenge. Needless to say, with all the surgeries, medications, and recoveries, my energy and productivity suffered. I went to my doctor recently for my annual physical, and my adrenals were so low, she said she didn't know how I was even walking around. This past year, I've really felt like I've been working underwater and everything has taken so much longer and seems like it takes so much more energy. And every afternoon, I would have to crash and sleep for at least 2 hours in order to keep going. It's been really frustrating to not be able to get everything done that I wanted to do. A good thing that came out of it is that I've really had to hone in on my priorities and what's really important to me. I've had to learn to prioritize my activities every day. I've also had to prioritize my health in order to regain this lost energy. We regularly have to evaluate our priorities as we go through life changes, so that we continue to focus on what's most important. I have a client who's now a caregiver of her aging parents. This now takes several hours out of each day, so she's really had to prioritize and decide what to let go of. Many people work, have families, have homes, have yards, and have other interests. Clarifying and prioritizing what you value helps you to be able to focus on what matters and to let go of or limit things that are of lesser value. Your reasons also help you to persist when challenges arise. And life is full of unexpected challenges with your health, job, economy, relationships, natural disasters, pandemics, just to name a few. Dare to dream about how you would like to live your life, how you would like your health, your relationships, or your environment to be like. What would you like to learn or create? How would you like to serve? The next R is for refinement or improvement. This is where you set intentional goals that support your reasons, that take you closer to what you want and value. We encourage setting quarterly Success Choice Challenge goals. For example, if you value financial freedom and you want to be able to provide for your family and provide opportunities for them, perhaps a quarterly goal could be to develop a skill that would make you more valuable in the workplace. Or maybe you want to take a class or do some other activity that would support that priority. In your Success Choice Planner, you can create your plan, and you can write down your milestones and monthly and weekly goals, as well as scheduling in daily tasks and routines. The next R is for routines. This is where you set up intentional routines to support your goals and who you want to be. These routines eventually become positive habits. Lack of routines is where most New Year's resolutions and goals fail. It's one thing to say that you want to lose 20 pounds, it's another thing to set up the routines to support that goal. When you have positive routines instilled, progress follows. The habits tracker, the schedule template, health tracker, dailies, and the end of week review are just some of the great tools in this system to help you to set up positive routines. The fourth R is for reflection. If you take your car to a mechanic because it's having an issue, the mechanic doesn't always know what the problem is. The mechanics will take an educated guess as to the problem. They try something, and if that doesn't work, then they try something else based on the feedback, and so on until they figure out what works. The same is true of doctors. They will run tests, and based on the results and their experience, they'll prescribe something. If that doesn't work, they try something else based on the feedback. In your quest for improvement, in owning your power and being your authentic self, you set goals based on what you value, your reasons. You instill routines to support those goals. And then, like the mechanic or the doctor, you evaluate what's working and what's not, and you adjust based on this feedback. You know yourself better than anyone, and you can figure out what's working and what's not working better than anyone. It just takes intentional awareness. Let's take diet as an example. Some of my kids have had health issues where they've needed to, through careful observation, figure out which foods cause them problems and that they should avoid, and which foods are okay for them to eat. In your planner, your end of week review, your monthly log, and your year-end review are built-in reminders to reflect and to evaluate your successes and your lessons learned. They're places to note your progress, things that you're grateful for, and important events in your life. When you pause and take time to reflect, that's when you start to notice what's not working for you. And like peeling an onion, you can start to peel back those layers. Observe and be willing to make changes to see what works. Going through each of these steps helps you to create the results that you want in your life. And you continue to improve and get better each time you go through this cycle. Based on reflecting on your results, as well as what's going on in your life, you may adjust what's most important to you right now, your reasons. And you continue to refine your aspirations, and from this you set different goals. You may adjust your routines, and then you go back to reflection. This cycle repeats over and over again as you continue to improve and peel back those layers to reveal your authentic self and what's really important to you. For example, one man, we'll call him Bob, was ultra focused on his career. He worked really long hours. It was his goal to be the first one into work each day and the last one to leave, and he also worked most weekends. He did progress in his career, but as he evaluated each area of balance, he realized that his relationships and his health were suffering. His reasons for working hard were to provide for his family, but if he lost his family or his health, were the long hours really worth it? He decided that he still wanted to work hard in his career, just not so many hours. As he was reflecting, he noticed that a lot of the things that he was doing throughout the day really weren't of the highest priority. He established a routine of writing down the 3 most important things to do the next day, each night before he went to bed. So during the days, he worked only on his highest priority action items, and he either eliminated or delegated the other items. As a result, he was able to get more done in fewer hours, which allowed him to be home in time for dinner and to not work weekends. He started getting better sleep, and he was less stressed. As a result, his work improved, as well as his relationships and his health. As you move into your power, other areas in your life begin to sync. Your career becomes more fulfilling. Your home and your wardrobe more reflect your style. Your friends and associates more closely align with your values, and your sense of well-being increases. Acting in your integrity isn't necessarily painless, and you may ruffle some feathers and upset some established patterns. But there's a cost to pushing down who you are, usually in the form of health issues. And there's a freedom that comes from acting with integrity. It takes courage to be true to yourself. It is like a muscle that gets stronger each time you act congruent with your values. So make the Success Choice System a way of life and get the results that you're looking for. Again, this is a routines-based system. The system has quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily routines set up to help you establish positive, intentional routines that can help pull you towards your authentic self and choose your success. The Success Choice Planners are set up into quarters. There are quarterly goal planning sections that help you clarify your reasons. They help you with refinement and growth. They help you overcome obstacles, and they help you reflect on your year. All of these sections help you move forward in your life and choose joy in your journey. Each quarter, you're encouraged to set quarterly Success Choice Challenge goals. You have the opportunity to identify and work on meaningful goals and projects each quarter based on your reasons. Each month, you can clarify and keep your reasons top of mind by writing down your ideals in each area of balance. We're not perfect, and we don't expect to be. Our ideals and reasons are to motivate and to give direction, not to beat ourselves up because we haven't arrived. By writing down your ideals each month in your areas of balance, it helps to keep them top of mind so that you can start to recognize opportunities as they arise, as well as actions that can pull you closer to your ideals. Each month, there are places that you can write down your milestones for your quarterly challenge goals and projects. There's a place to write down your monthly goals, tasks, and actions that support what's most important to you. Each month, you can grow and improve with the monthly focuses, and you can improve relationships each month with the tradition ideas. There's also a monthly log each month where you can write down the noteworthy events of the month, as well as your successes and your lessons learned. Weekly, there's a place that you can write down your Success Choice Challenge tasks, maybe contacts that you want to make, celebrations, or however you want to use that space provided. Each week you can also refine and revisit your purpose. This helps to keep you grounded and motivated. There's also a spot to write down the most important things to get done that week. What would really move the needle on one of your goals or in one of your areas of balance? Live intentionally and decide in advance what the most important things are to get done that week. And each week you have your end of week review where you can write down what worked well, what didn't, and what changes you might want to make. You can also stay more positively focused and improve your mental health by writing down things that you're grateful for and things that went well that week. Daily, you can keep track of appointments and to-dos. The health tracker helps you to establish positive physical health routines by tracking your water intake and your fruits and veggies as well as your exercise. It can also help you to establish positive mental health routines by writing down how you want to feel that day or what you're grateful for. You can also reinforce your positive routines with your dailies or your habits tracker. When you establish positive routines, things become more automatic and you don't have to think about them as much, and this helps to free up your energy. Again, your days are already full of routines. What and when you eat, when and how long you sleep, how you react to situations, and whether or not you exercise. Which of your current routines are serving you, and which of your current routines are not serving you? Remember, you can pause the video at any time to give yourself time to think about, to contemplate, and to write down answers to the questions. When you're not fulfilled, you may have the habit of vegging in front of the TV, or you may numb with food or other substances. It's amazing when you have something meaningful that you're working on, something that energizes and excites you. Your energy and joy increase. When you're progressing and you're growing and you're working on meaningful projects, you light up. You want to serve and not only improve yourself, but improve your world. Whether your physical home or yard, your family, or your community, you choose joy in your journey. I just explained a lot, so don't feel like you have to do everything from the beginning. One of the pitfalls that people face is trying to make too many changes at once and then getting overwhelmed and giving up. Start by adding just 1 or 2 routines to start with. Maybe you want to start with just writing down your ideals each month in the areas of balance. Or maybe you want to just start doing your end of week review. Just do something to start getting more clear about what you truly value and what is most important to you. Start creating greater awareness so that you can hone in on your values and your emotions. Whether you're working in a career or whether you're working as a stay-at-home parent or even if you're retired, we are happiest when we are working towards something that is meaningful to us. We thrive on progress and improvement, so join me in the next video as we go through the year goal planning worksheets. See you in the next video.